Hey there, my friend. Clark Brown here with Restoration Advisors. Guess what we're going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the hard truth. I want to make this video and let it live and breathe on YouTube or wherever you want it to be. I want you to save it. I want you to put it in a notepad. I want you to keep it. And I want it to become a daily, weekly, hourly reminder of some facts. Because sometimes we can't see, how's the saying go? We can't see the tree for the forest, or probably the opposite, right? We can't see the forest for the trees. Whatever it means is when we are on a path of something, we defy logic. We ignore the obvious and the things that we know sometimes, and we're hoping that the alternative or the reality will be different. And here's what it is. I'm not even reading from a script. I'm just talking to you in a way on a conversation that I probably have, I don't know, 5, 7 times a week. And I don't mind having it another 672 times because it's important. I constantly receive calls, emails, texts, messages online. I see posts online. How to get paid. How do I get the insurance company, Allstate, State Farm, Liberty Mutual, Travelers, Grange, AmFam, Erie, pick one. How do I get them to pay me? I always have the same answer. And I don't think anybody really likes my answer. And I'm sure some people would probably find an argument to tell me why I'm wrong. The insurance company doesn't owe you any money. They don't. They know that too, which makes it harder. You, the contractor, you, the person that are doing a service for a consumer, had a contract signed, hopefully, by a client, by a consumer. Chances are incredibly great. The chances are about as good as the price of gasoline being very high right now in March of 2022. The chances are high that the carrier or any party of the insurance company is not on your contract. A contract, forget insurance, forget who's involved. A contract is a legal and binding document. It's a protection for you. It's a protection for your client. You go to court. If the insurance company is not paying you, I get the call all the time. I want to sue. How do I sue them? You can't. They don't owe you anything. What are you suing for? What are the damages? Well, I'm not getting paid. The customer is you're getting paid. Now, if you're a public adjuster or an attorney, or you have some other legal ownership of the claim, that's a different story. But barring that, you don't. And I'm just being blunt and clear so I can be clear. I want you to get it in the simplest terms. I am not a fool, and I understand how hard it is for us to be a company, a firm, an industry, and a professional that likes to help our customers in a very tumultuous time, in a time of peril, in a time of concern, fear, anxiety, anger, and all of these emotions. And we pride ourselves on having this learned ability and probably a natural inclination to have a large amount of empathy. That empathy makes you a good contractor and a good service professional in what we do. Fire, water, mold, trauma, anything, right? Any kind of thing that you choose, maybe reconstruction. You can understand where the customer's at. You have a plan. You are a guide. You have the solution. and you can do that. The only thing getting in the way is that we have a service that the public has developed this mindset. And here's the funny part. I'm going to come back to it, but the perception is the public thinks that they don't have to pay you, that the insurance is who pays you. There's a portion of that that's probably true, but if someone's never had a claim in their home, guess what? They don't Google it and find out that hire a contractor. You won't have to pay anything. Maybe they have a friend that said, hey, we had somebody out and we didn't have to pay. We just let them deal with the insurance company or whatever. Because there's a long line around the block and all the way to Cincinnati and back of contractors that will do that. But guess what? They're still not happy about it. They're still choking from cash flow. They wish they weren't doing that, but they think this is the way it's always been done, and that's what we're going to do. Imagine if the world stuck to that mentality that everything stays the same. We would be using phone books. We would be driving Model A. We'd still be riding horses. We wouldn't have fire. We would not have electric cars coming about. We wouldn't have smartphones that you could run your whole business off of, because we always had flip phones. We had brick phones. We had no phones. Things change. The carrier doesn't owe you a dime. Calling them to get paid is only allowing them to have permission to think that your invoice is actually an estimate, and it has negotiability, and they can delay, and they can take a little while longer while they think about it, while they run up this fictional ladder, talk to their boss. These are all ploys of a very well-built system that is designed to make them profitable. And kudos to them for figuring that out. But shame on you, shame on us, shame on me for helping them build their machine and cripple ours. We are subsidizing their wealth. They can make their own money. They make money in a few different ways. Insurance companies make money off of premiums. They collect money, okay? Then they pay out claims. They collect $100 million a month, and they hopefully pay out $20 million or $80 million a month in claims and keep 20. Not a bad day, right? 20% margins. And it's nowhere near that much, by the way. They make much less on what's called the spread. It's actually the loss ratio. They don't do that well. But what they learned is, let's take that $100 million, get a reserve, get a number on that job. They almost make that money goes into a fake account for that claim. They invest it in the market. And guess what happens for every day, every week, every month that they don't pay that claim? It grows and it grows and it grows. Now, it's another way of making money. The whole claims department is designed, it just is, it's designed to not pay. So my point is, before you ask, why isn't this insurance company paying me? Because they don't have to, and they know that. And if you set the expectations in the wrong way with your customer and state or proclaim or even elude to, we'll take care of it, and the insurance, you won't have to pay, the insurance will pay. Because the customers hear different things. They might hear you saying, oh, that means you're going to take care of it, and you're going to call them and bug them, and they won't pay you, and then that's it? What about if they don't pay what you estimated? Lots of contractors will say, we'll see what happens when we get here, right? They don't say, some of them do. I've read websites that say, you won't have to pay anything out of pocket. You won't have to pay anything that your insurance company doesn't agree to and pay. Wow. You are the best company that insurance company has ever seen, and they love you, and they thank you. Stakeholders, thank you. They're private jet pilots that get to keep a job because of you. Thank you. Peyton Manning thanks you because he gets paid a lot to be at the Super Bowl commercials because we do that. You are a company, a private company doing a service, a very expensive service. You're not subbing people out. You're incurring costs, payroll, subs, purchasing material, training, office admin, insurances, losses, buy equipment. You didn't get into this business just to get by or struggle, and you're wondering why. I teach people all the time. Join us in Restoration Nation. I'll put the link in this video. It's free. This talk, you'll hear more of it. And I don't mince the words. You don't need that. You don't need a soft delivery. Oh, but let me tell you, you need to know the facts. What you're doing is the wrong way. Now, all of the arguments, all the people that are angry about this, maybe you've already quit watching. We're 10 minutes in. Maybe you've already quit watching, and you're going to go and you're going to ask Liberty Mutual, where's my check? And they're going to tell you the same thing they told you every time. I will promise you that all of your documentation, if you call me or call anyone and say they had another contractor use a different price list and put a different number on it, where's the white paper for Xactimate? All of these things. Xactimate has white papers on their website. They have actually terms and conditions, section number 7. Check it out. Check out my YouTube channel. You'll find videos about it. You can use any price you want. You're not locked into that unless you're on an MRP, a managed repair program, or a TPA. You can modify your prices because the prices that are in Xactimate, number one, aren't meant to be used by everybody. And number two, they are not reflective of actual costs to do business today. Period. I don't need to even expand upon that. It's just a fact. But when you aren't getting paid because of that, the customer should be outraged because there's nothing in their policy that says the insurance company gets to pay what they want and at a fixed price. There's no document that's going to prove that to you other than the terms and conditions of Xactimate. Anyone that uses it has to check a box and agree to their terms. If they're using it in a way as that's opposing the language of the terms and conditions, then they are liable for damages or egregious behavior. Their license could be questioned, but not by you. You can't turn them in. Your client should. So you have to empower your customer. You have to onboard your customer and set the expectation. Say, this is how this has to work. I wish I could float this. I wish I could be the bank. There are banks out there, by the way, that will loan your customer money. Why should they have to borrow money for their insurance company? I don't know. Fucking ask me for. I don't know. Go ask the carrier. Ask why they can't Venmo the customer money. ACH. Why can't they give them a wire transfer and pay the customer? They have no problem taking their premium every single month on the same day. Cancel their insurance if they don't pay. What about your service? Can you cancel if you don't get paid? Nope. You've already done the work. You've already done it. You know all this. You hear it, you see it, but you forget when you're trying to collect that check. You forget when you have a claim, an invoice for $14,000, and the insurance is trying to say, I had somebody go out there and look at it and it was $4,000. You forget when you imagine what it's going to feel like to only collect what you spent and break even, and then you're going to do that 100 more times, and you're going to be like, wow, how do I run a business? Because you're not holding the customer financially responsible for their obligation. Because if you go back to the beginning of my video, our heart feels that we're being two different people by being empathetic to their situation and being their cape, their hero in a cape, and saving the day, and then making them pay you. I will admit this. Their insurance company is treating them badly. They should not be victims as they are. The insured is not armed and equipped with the knowledge of what they're going to go through and how they're being treated terribly, with at least with bad faith, possibly with fraud and criminal fraud. They aren't armed with that, which makes you feel like that's my differentiator in this market. That makes me a purple cow. If I just care a little bit more, you can care all you want. You can be the Red Cross of the restoration in your city, but you won't be in business long, or you'll stay right where you are and you won't grow. Maybe that's okay. Maybe you don't want 14 trucks. Maybe your goal is not $4 million a year. Maybe you're happy with 1.2 million, 500,000. I don't know. And there's no wrong answer. I'm absolutely happy for people that are happy. But you don't get to complain about it because you know what the hell's going on. I don't mean to talk so mean. Everyone that knows me knows I'm pro-contractor. I educate on this. And this is me speaking after a couple of calls this week, just saying the same thing. And I would love to have this video. And listen, it's 15 minutes. Most people love our 16-second videos. They want TikTok. Guess what? TikTok's not teaching you shit. Okay? I'm really frustrated with the fact that people won't take the time to do long. I could have done this a 2-minute video and said the same thing with no context, and it wouldn't have made any sense. You wouldn't have been convinced, and you probably wouldn't have done anything different. You would have done the same thing over and over and over. Do I really care, especially for those that I don't know? Do I care if you make money or not? Yeah, as a human, I do. I don't like bullies. I don't like the insurance company being a bully. And I like educating people to have transformations in their life. But if you want to continue to do this, I have people that have called me for years. It's almost like Groundhog Day, the same question over and over and over and over. Okay? So-and-so isn't paying me. What do you think I can say? Insurance company, State Farm, Allstate, whatever. What do you think I should say? I don't think you should say. I don't think you should say anything. I think you should be not talking to them at all. I think this whole conversation that you and I are having are a waste of your time, my time, of course, unless I'm getting paid to do it. But I don't want to take people's money for having the same conversation over and over and over. I want people just to get the idea that Clark's right, and it's not just Clark; it's hundreds more. That you can be fair but firm. You could help the customer, have language, proper onboarding. I teach onboarding. Can't do it on this video. It's too long, and I'm not going to do that. You can properly onboard the customer to understand in a logical way how this is going to work. They're not all dumb people. They're capitalists. They understand. They should hold their insurance company accountable. I say this all the time. I'm a contractor. I want you to hold me accountable. I'm going to do all the things that I said I was going to do for the price that I said I was going to do it for and the time limits that I said I would do it. If I don't do any of those things, you obviously have the power, the authority, and permission to come at me and make me do it right, ask me to do it right, or not pay me for breaching my contract with you. I just ask that you do the same thing with your carrier because you have a contract with them. Look at your contract, read your contract. If you don't understand it, get some help. I can't do it for you. The contractor can't do it for you. It's not legal. Get some help. Get with your agent. Call the insurance company and say, listen, I think you guys are mistaken. That you actually work for me, and I think you're trying to underpay my claim because I can't get made whole because of this ridiculous thing that you had some company who's got no online reviews that thinks they can do it for a fraction of what this other person who has 150, 200, 500 reviews, who obviously is the best in the market. You got somebody else. My policy doesn't say I've got to find the cheapest. It says fair and reasonable cost to rebuild, to replace the property. That cost is high, and that's reasonable. I hope this makes sense. I hope this empowers you to find your approach, find your demeanor, find the method in which you will train every voice in your company on how important it is to make money. Your company runs off of that paper for the value that it has of the day that you have it, and it changes often. Money that you invoiced in January and you haven't gotten it yet is no longer the same amount. It's cost you more money to run your business without that money. You know what I'm talking about. You can't pay a business development person and a marketing team or another marketing team. You can't go commercial. You can't buy more equipment because you've got a couple $100,000 tied up in receivables for a customer who is not trying to collect on your behalf to pay you. I know you see the problem, And I know this all makes sense, but I really, really want this video to be a resonating stamp on your approach to this. I champion this approach. Onboard your customer, get a contract, not a work authorization, be transparent. If you don't think you can estimate a job up front, let me know. We'll talk. I'll help you. We'll do a workshop. I have hundreds more that want to have a workshop about how to do it. You want to do it without Xactimate and not pay $2,000 a month or a year for Xactimate? I can teach you that too. We can do these things, but we can't keep doing what we've been doing and expecting things different because it's getting worse and worse. And you know I'm right. If you've been doing this for a while, you know that this is getting, the crunch is getting tighter. If you're just starting this and you're trying to figure out why things aren't working the way your mind told you it was, because you started off with the wrong expectation without the right education. WRT, ASD class, certification, they don't teach these things. These are things you got to learn from professionals, from mentors, or the hard way. If you worked in another company as a project manager, as a lead tech, as an estimator, decide to go out on your own, live the American dream, which I'm proud of you doing it for, you're likely going to have some big, big gaps. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. If you want to keep doing what you're doing, we're 21 minutes, 33 seconds in, keep doing that. I have made a course for this, and I have made an e-course for all of the people that don't want to travel, that want something that they can watch in between Netflix and Hulu and at their own pace, which I applaud. We've made a course, 60 days to build a strong restoration company. These principles, these conversations, these lessons are in there. Imagine starting your company or restarting your company with the new mentality, with the new template, with the new framework that has you being profitable and strong from the beginning. Why do I know this works? Because there's a lot of contractors who are good business people that are running their company like a business and are not supporting the insurance companies with their delay tactics and their denial tactics. They're holding their customers accountable, and they're getting good reviews, and they're getting referrals from those customers later. You're going to hit some speed bumps. You're going to find some people who don't want to pay out of pocket, and they're not going to fight for you to get paid. Walk away from that job. If I know from the beginning that someone's not going to pay me for the work that I'm doing, most business people will say, it's not going to happen. I don't walk into Kroger and get a bag of Cheetos and walk out with it. No pay, no play. No Cheetos for me. My fingers won't have the orange on them. Well, I'm just being funny now, or stupid, depends on your sense of humor. Save this video. This is a training workshop. This turned in from a mind idea to you just got a lesson that's going to make you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I know this, and I'm not an egotistical person. There are a lot of things that I don't know, but this I do, because I have clients, I have friends, I have colleagues that have done this, are experienced at it, and they win every day, and they are now tackling new problems. And those problems will get solved too, because that's what you do with issues. You don't endure, you don't tolerate, you eliminate. If you can't resolve the issue, you change what you do and do something else, but you don't continue to sit there and take it. I hope this makes sense. I hope this was valuable. If you didn't stick around this long, I'm very sorry that your next few months and years are going to continue to be expensive and painful. I don't want that for anyone. I want you to thrive. I want you to grow, and I want to see you at conferences. I want to see you expanding to multiple cities and having a training tour. I want to see you taking your wife or your husband to Italy because your company is running itself, because you are able to afford to bring in the right people to run your company and it not be you. That's what I want. That's what I hope you get from this. Have an amazing day. Be positive, but be firm. Run your company. Protect the people that work there. Protect your client, and protect the economy of your community. And don't subsidize these big oligarch companies, insurance companies, that don't need you to do that. They're going to get it from the next guy. Don't worry about them. But you got to pay me. I got to get paid for what I did. It's how it is, right? Signing off. See you later.